let's begin. So, wherever there's entrepreneurship, there's talk of money, obviously, and there are some perspectives that some people have that either turn them away from entrepreneurship or make them have a skewed perspective of it, right? So, today we'll be looking at an attitude towards money, which is that money is an instrument of change. Now, this attitude is well, it's articulated best by Chamath Palihapitiya. He is now a billionaire, former Burger King worker. He used to earn minimum wage. He's also now a venture capitalist and the founder of Social Capital. So that's an interesting name, right? Social Capital. Now, the mission is to advance humanity by solving the world's hardest problems. They believe that empowering entrepreneurs who seek to improve the lives of the people around them is the best way to create more opportunity globally. Right. Now, let's look at his views on money and let's just straight away hear it from him. And you'll know what he means by the dichotomy at the top. So, let me know if the audio of that video is audible. Could somebody confirm? No. Okay. Now that could be problematic. Okay, well, I'll just tell you then what he says. All right, all right. Okay. So basically, he grew up in a very dysfunctional household. His father used to drink a lot. There was depression, and basically, it came to a point where he thought about, okay, does he need money? What is money to him, right? And in the end, he thought that, okay, money to me is an instrument of change. It is a way that I can empower myself and the people around me, right? He's actually comes from Sri Lanka. There was civil war in Sri Lanka. They migrated to Canada, and their family was very very poor even in Canada. So at a certain point, he thought about what money means to him, and as to what the dichotomy at the top means. Well, he used to work in a company, and he used to think, oh well, the CEO of that company, Terry Crews, he used to wonder, oh, why is this guy doing that? Like that guy was a billionaire, right? The CEO of his company, he was a billionaire, and Chamath couldn't even comprehend, like, what does that even mean? What is that billionaire? What does that mean, right? And he used to see that the CEO was so dynamic that he used to do all of these things. And then Chamath actually got close with one of the CEO's associates, and then he got to know how this guy thinks. And then there was also other guy. Um, his name was not mentioned, but there was also this other guy who was building a company. So there was Chamath's CEO, and there was this other guy, and Chamath was observing both of these people, and he saw that how the other guy is like kind of like the wolf from the Wall Street, right? So that movie, and that guy is completely dysfunctional, right? He has like obscene like glass house and so on. And so he saw, okay, who do I want to be? Do I want to be that dysfunctional guy such as in the Wolf of Wall Street, or do I want to be this guy who thinks, okay, if I have 8 billion market cap, that's 8 billion dollars of change, that's 10 billion dollars of change, and so on. So Chamath then, after deciding what money means to him, then he got to know, well, who does he want to copy? Who does he want to embody? So even at the top, right? Sure, you must have this perception that people are like that, such as in the Wolf of Wall Street. But then there are also people who think about change, who actually contribute so much to the society. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, now you saw Chamath wants to solve hard problems. Why does he insist on solving the hard problems? Well, that's because he thinks, okay, you've got all of these problems. You've got climate change, you've got poverty, you've got hunger, you've got so many problems. And what are people doing? Well, they're they're building Facebook, they're building Google, they're building all of these things that are good, that actually are good, that provide some gain to the society, but they don't solve problems. And Chamath says, well, okay, sometimes it'll get hard, you will have to be resilient. But think about this: if you solve these hard problems, if you solve climate change, if you solve world hunger, won't you be in the next 50 years, won't that person who solves all of this be like a trillionaire? That's obvious. That's what he argues, that says that it might get hard, but whoever solves all of these hard problems is going to be compensated like crazy. So here he talks about how our worldview, our individual worldview of each of us, why it matters. So each of us is unique. We've had I mean, this is very obvious. Like once you come to college, you realize how everybody is so different to you. School may fir be sab same thing. But then this becomes very obvious that everybody has their own worldview. And if you want change to happen, if you want some social problem to be solved, if you want, you can sit around and debate it. You can go on and on and on and do it, and that has its place. That debating has its place, but at the end of the day, you also need to solve that. So if you have some worldview, and you want the word to align with your worldview, then what Chamath argues is that you should get the money. That is as simple. It's as simple as that. He says get the money, and then break through such that we have so much capital and influence, then we are now able to control how the world works, how we can, in the sense that how the world is approaching certain problems, right? And he talks about his life too. He says that how he grew up poor, and he was brown skinned in Canada at that time. There was racism and so on. And he says, well, there might be so many other people who have gone through the same experiences, and he says that their experiences matter, that your experiences matter. And look, at the end of the day, people are going to make money. It's going to happen, right? Other people are going to do it. Chamath is going to do it. Our peers are going to do it. Now, it's your moral imperative that if there's something that you want in this world to happen, that you make it happen. And one way to do that is to collect capital, that is, make money, and then use that capital for societal causes. Now the word social capital certainly makes sense, right? So that's what he tries to do. Now, all of this brings us to the concept of social entrepreneurship. Um, well, it's the the definition is pretty obvious, isn't it? That it's an approach by individuals, groups, startup companies, or entrepreneurs in which they develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues. Basically, what they're doing is entrepreneurs are gathering up, and instead of creating something like Uber and Facebook, which again have their place in society, instead of creating gains, they are actually solving pains of society. They're solving all of those underlying issues that you see so much in India. So entrepreneurship, as Chirag mentioned, कि अभी इतना क्रेज चल रहा है, तो इंडिया में तो बहुत ही अपॉर्चुनिटी है entrepreneurship की, because there are so many social problems to solve. You can solve those problems, and that is what social entrepreneurship is. So one such example I'd like to give is of Urvashi Sthani, the founder and CEO of Chef, an organization dedicated to offering education to the most disadvantaged girls in India. And she was rightly felicitated with the Social Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2017 for a selfless act of dedication and passion. So look at this. She saw a problem, she saw a pain that the society had, and she alleviated that pain, right? That is in essence what social entrepreneurship is. You can find many such examples online. I'd encourage you to Google social entrepreneurship in India. But due to brevity, I will keep this short and I will now hand it over to Shirachira.